This lesson will cover the following topics: tyre pressure monitor, instrument panel display. The tyre pressure monitor informs the driver of the tyre pressures. Depending on the vehicle model, the information is communicated to the driver using a warning tone, a display, and warning lights. The aim is to alert the driver to any fault. The tyre pressure monitor consists of the following components: tyre pressure sensors, a receiver, a computer, and a display. The pressure sensor is contained in an instrumented valve. In addition to the pressure sensor, the instrumented valve contains an aerial and one or two other sensors. An acceleration sensor which determines whether the vehicle is moving or stationary. And depending on the model, a temperature sensor which allows correction of the pressure. Each valve is assigned to a single wheel. The wheels must not be swapped to avoid producing false data. To prevent swapping, a coloured ring is used to identify the wheel rim on which the valve must be fitted. Let's now see how the tyre pressure sensors work. The tyre pressure sensor functions in driving or standby mode. When the vehicle reaches a speed of about 20 km per hour, 12 miles per hour, the sensor is in driving mode. In driving mode, the pressure is detected and the data are transmitted regularly. When the vehicle is stationary or moving at less than 12 miles per hour, 20 km per hour, the sensor is in standby mode. In standby mode, the pressure is detected, but the data are transmitted only when there is a significant change. Let's look in more detail at the receiver. The receiver consists of a receiving aerial and a computer. The receiver may be located under the vehicle or integrated in the computer. The data from the 4 pressure sensors is transmitted to the receiver. The computer identifies each sensor and decodes the radio frequency signals. The tyre pressure data are then transmitted to the computer. The computer contains a map indicating the recommended tyre pressures and the alert thresholds for under and over inflation. The recommended pressures and the alert thresholds vary according to the vehicle and are modified according to the speed and load of the vehicle. On some vehicles, the computer also takes into account the tyre temperatures. The temperature and pressure of the tyres increase with speed. The computer compares the data sent by the sensors with the pressures contained in its map. Let's now see the operation of the whole tyre pressure monitor. First, the sensors detect the tyre pressures and transmit the data to the receiver through radio frequency signals. The receiver receives the radio frequency signals and sends the data to the computer. Then, the computer compares the data received with those contained in its map and determines which message to display. Finally, the computer transmits the message to the instrument panel. The type of display and the appearance of the message sent to the driver vary depending on the vehicle model and level of equipment. For example, some displays give the exact pressure of each tyre. Other displays only indicate a fault on a tyre without giving the pressure. Depending on the equipment, the alert may be supplemented by a warning tone or a voice synthesis message. In this section, we covered the following points. The tyre pressure monitor informs the driver of any tyre pressure fault. The system consists of pressure sensors, a computer, a receiver, and a display. A coloured ring is used to identify the wheel rim on which the valve must be fitted. The tyre pressure sensors work in driving or standby mode. The receiver identifies each sensor and transmits the data to the computer. The computer compares the data sent by the sensors with the pressures contained in its map. Tyre pressure information is used by the computer to display messages. Depending on the vehicle model and equipment level, the information is communicated to the driver using a visual message or a tone and warning lights. Let's look in more detail at the various warning lights. On some vehicles, a color code indicates the level of seriousness of the fault. Green or white indicates that the pressure is within the tolerance. Orange is used for level 1 faults, indicating that a tyre is under or over-inflated. When the warning lights are orange, the service indicator light also comes on. Red is used for level 2 faults, indicating a serious pressure fault. When level 2 is reached, the stop warning light comes on, requiring the vehicle to stop as soon as traffic conditions permit. Tyre pressures vary. This variation is detected and analysed by the tyre pressure monitor. Analysis of this variation allows the following faults to be identified. The tyre is underinflated. The tyre is overinflated. The tyre is flat. The tyre is punctured. And the tyre pressure is not suitable for the speed of the vehicle. The system also compares the pressures of tyres on the same axle. By doing this, the system can detect a pressure fault even if the values are within the recommended tolerances. When the pressure difference between the left and right tyres is greater than 500 millibars, the pressure fault warning light is displayed on the screen. In this section, we covered the following points. A color code indicates the level of seriousness of the fault. Analysis of the variation in pressure identifies several faults. The system can detect a pressure fault if the pressure difference between two tyres on the same axle is too great.